It is day 5. Today I wanted to talk about or follow on from yesterday's conversation, starting to build uh, self-love. What is self-love? How does one feel self-love and create self-love and lean into self-love to transform or to achieve what um, what I say I want to achieve. And part of that today conversation that came up is the idea of forgiveness, whether it's forgiveness of others, forgiveness of self, and being forgiven. All of those components I feel are really important to the idea of love. Do you have the capacity and the ability to forgive, whether it's to forgive others that hurt you, forgive yourself for areas that you feel you've transgressed upon your own values or your own morals, and um, maybe in areas to seek forgiveness or to understand and self reflect areas where you have hurt others and you have been a source of pain, and um, to acknowledge that and to make amends either with the other directly or with yourself, the grace to forgive yourself because you do know that you've hurt someone, and you're not holding that anger or resentment or self-loathing or self-hatred or whatever the level of it might be for you. Um, and I was listening to someone talk about this morning the concept of, and it comes from the pranic healing, Grandmaster Chokok Sui would talk about forgiveness of others and there being two types of forgiveness. And there is the inner forgiveness, which is the forgiveness for all. On the inside, you forgive everybody because that's how you get peace, it's how you release. And then the outer forgiveness, which applies to most. So there are some people that you do forgive and you still have your boundaries, you still have your understandings that, I forgive you spiritually and emotionally, and I'm also going to call the police if I need to call the police. I'm going to set boundaries if I need to set boundaries. I'm going to say no and keep you out of my life if that's what needs to happen. So to think about all those components of forgiveness. The one I wanted to dive into today was self-forgiveness and grace, to give yourself grace. And this doesn't mean that you violate your own values and your own morals and you kind of sit there and go, oh, well, it's just quirky, it's just who I am. But you're able to parent yourself and set boundaries for yourself, forgive yourself and boundaries for yourself. No, I shouldn't have that. I keep wanting to say ice cream. That piece of cake or that, plate of hash browns, because that's not going to make you feel good in beyond the moment, beyond the instant gratification. So the ability to parent yourself in a way that is loving. We're making the loving choice by saying no. And the spirit of grace and forgiveness when you feel like you've let yourself down in a way that might sometimes seem irreparable. And again, we start to treat ourselves unkindly and we bring in grace, to understand, the concept that we were talking about the other day, progress, not perfection. Progress, not perfection. Me making myself wrong and unloved in the moment is not the way forward. Let me bring grace to the situation. Let me forgive myself. And now that I know better, I'll do better. So in that concept. So I think I'm going to keep it short and sweet there. I'm still developing these thoughts. What's the system for forgiveness? I think self-reflection, journaling. I love the Julia Cameron morning pages, three A4 pages written by hand, because that really helps integrate. Writing it out onto the paper also dissociates it from from being right in your emotional center to, oh, that's now outside of me. And you can go further by, you know, if you're writing a letter to yourself or to someone else about something that is very emotional, you can go as far as to, you know, tear that up or burn it. And, you know, that kind of medium, I feel, does have some magic in it, in terms of taking the inner charge. There are lots and lots of ways to neutralize charges, to balance perceptions on things that have happened. Basically, do the work. Sit down, self-reflect, take the time, go deep. Don't stay at the surface. Don't numb yourself. And I'm talking to myself here. Don't numb by eating or doing something that fulfills instant gratification, but not long-term objectives and long-term values and things that you want for yourself, or I want for myself. So there's a lot to think about there. I kind of threw in a bit of a mishmash of different concepts and philosophies that were all coming up. And I'll probably leave it there for now, and I'll be back for day 6. Bye.